what if I told you the label freeman wasn't about freedom, but about erasing who you were before the 14th Amendment? And I'm probably going to ruffle a few feathers with this one, but just let me explain. So before I jump into it, this is only for educational and historical discussion only. Anything I say in this video is backed by documented research and primary sources. Do your own research and come to your own conclusions. This is not misinformation, this is history through another lens. The 14th Amendment didn't just grant citizenship to so-called Black Americans. It reclassified a conquered people. And now I know some of us didn't get reclassified to freemen, some was reclassified to Negro, mulatto, or colored, but the purpose was still the same. Pay attention. The oldest skulls that they dug up on this soil were the Paleo-Americans. The original inhabitants was reclassified to a freedman, to Negro, to mulatto, or colored to make it seem that we was newly free and not. Then we had the original melanated Europeans, the free persons of color. These were the heirs of the royal patents and hereditary surnames from England, Spain, Scotland, etc. They came over here, the melanated Europeans, the coat of arms, and was intermixing with the melanated Aboriginal crowns, merging two distinct bloodlines into one, creating a double sovereignty, the natural rights to the soil, and the law of the nations provided by the European nobility. Keep following. After the 14th Amendment passed, it swapped our inherited sovereignty with civil rights, which is granted by the government and regulated by statutes that operates under the corporation. By becoming citizens of the United States, we went from being the owner to the employee. This created a brand new political status, which once again, the citizens of the United States. Pay attention. Before the Civil War, the United States operated under an organic constitutional framework where each individual state was viewed as separate sovereign republics. And before the US Constitution and the British Charters ever existed, the original sovereign states on this soil were the independent nations of the original melanated inhabitants. An organic state citizen, under strict national law, the law of the nation is defined as an organized body of people living within a defined territory under an independent government. And this is noted in the original Constitution, Article 4, Section 2, Clause 1. The citizens of each state shall be entitled to all privileges and immunities of citizens in the several states. The primary purpose of this clause, like the clause between which it's located, was to help fuse into one nation a collection of independent sovereign states. State citizen possesses inherent rights that come directly from the natural law of the earth. These rights completely exist independent of and prior to the creation of any government, and in this status, you are the principal sovereigner operating under the common law of the land. It gets more deep than this. Pay attention. And in comes the 1662 baby follows the belly law. And although this law was used as a predatory economic purpose to ensure that the children of the enslaved woman would automatically become property of the slaveholder, and also to erase the inherited sovereignty through the melanated coat of arms and the melanated Aboriginal crowns, because remember, this was used for the enslaved and the free persons of color. Because before this, status followed the father, but they flipped it to follow the mother. Okay, so keep following. However, with that law, the commercial application to chattel slavery was abolished through the 13th Amendment. And when they did this, they unintentionally created a permanent biological backdoor to their own legal system. Let me explain. That law, baby follows the belly, was never repealed. It's still in existence till this day, and the law says your status flows strictly through the mother. You know how like a mother passes down her DNA? She passes down your legal status, and your pre-US maternal biological lineage acts like a direct title deed to this soil. And they can't even touch that law because it sits right outside the US corporation's own framework. So if you ever wondered if we can get deported, if they can do this, if they can do that, they can't do nothing with us. They can't do shit with us. Let me explain. That law was codified in 1662. The U.S. corporation was formed a whole century later and formalized as a corporate structure during Reconstruction. So therefore, that law recognizes our maternal lineage and status that is tied to this land long before the federal corporate government ever existed. So pre-corporate sovereignty to this land. You understand? So the child inherits their true ancestral status and organic title through the condition of the mother, because our maternal lineages traces back to these women that was here before the 14th Amendment and before the U.S. corporation formed. And that law sits right under the 14th Amendment, and it's still in existence, and it can't be repealed because the U.S. corporation did not create it. They only inherited it through the 13 colonies. Oh, and it gets way deeper than that. I promise you. Stick around for part 2.